Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal, Mr. Butter, coming back at you. Today, I want to get into a pair that I picked up not too long ago. It's actually still available at a handful of retailers. I think these are actually still on the Nike app. They originally dropped on the sneakers app, and just like Nike does oft times when a shoe doesn't sell out immediately, then they move it to the Nike app. So I think you can still find these there if you're interested. I'm talking about the Air Trainer 1 SP. For me, I just relate this shoe to Bo Jackson, and it has that nostalgic look to it. But I think on these most recent releases, they kind of gave them a more modern twist. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these Air Trainer 1 SPs in the dark smoke gray colorway. Alright, so this box is just like the box that we got for the last Air Trainer 1 SPs, which was the coriander colorway. And it's just black. It's got Nike there in gloss on the top, and then on the sides it's got that as well. I don't know if you can see that. I think you can. But a quick look at the tag. It says Air Trainer 1 SP, dark smoke gray, black, and iron gray. I got a size 10 in these. 10.5 was sold out whenever I went to get these. And then without further delay, check these out. I think these are cool. I think they definitely have that retro look that I love about Air Trainers. But then they also just have this modern feel to them with all the reflective and these panels on the sides that change colors. I just think these are really neat. And two, these have more of like a Bo Jackson feel than what the coriander pair did. I think just because I feel like these colors have more of like a Raiders vibe. And you know, I don't know what I preferred watching, whether it was him playing baseball, playing outfield for the Royals, or him playing football. He was just an animal on whatever field he was playing on. I probably sound like a broken record, but Bo Jackson was just one of those names for me as a kid growing up that just, I think forever he will be one of my favorite athletes just because of what he brought to every field that he was playing on. And he was just beast mode, flat out beast mode, and a blast to watch. And I think too, whenever you watch that stuff as a kid, I think it kind of just burns it into your memory a little bit different. Like, this might be a poor example, but just like watching LeBron compared to watching Michael Jordan. And I am not comparing them. I think they're both, you know, amazing at what they do. However, like watching Michael Jordan, it seemed like I was watching something that wasn't even human. You know what I mean? It seemed like I was watching like a superhero or something. And I think that's just kind of like the magic of seeing it through a kid's eyes, you know, seeing people make these plays that just seem impossible. It just seemed like you're watching somebody that is like not just a mere mortal like the rest of us, you know. But anyhow, I like these. I like these a lot. These give me those retro vibes, and just like the corianders, it's a way that I've never seen the Air Trainer. You know, materials aren't anything that are like insane, but that's not really what I'm expecting whenever I get an Air Trainer. I don't think I've ever had one that has like buttery leather or, you know, just really top shelf quality materials, but I buy them because I like the way they look, you know. And I think these were $140, so it's a pretty affordable shoe in my opinion. And like I mentioned on the intro, these are still readily available, and I think these are going to be real easy to rock. It's raining right now, or else maybe I would have thrown them on, but I guess we got to get all these flower buds and whatnot some drinks so that they can bloom here in the spring. I don't know if you can see this cherry tree right here is starting to bloom, but maybe I'm just getting old, but I love that kind of stuff. Anyhow, before it starts raining too hard, this is the dark smoke gray, and this one was the coriander. And I really like all the colors of this. I think this will be easy to wear, but it'll just be a different kind of vibe. I think this one kind of has more of like a springy feel to it, and this one is just more, you could rock this one with anything, really. I don't think this would be too hard to match with stuff, but also this would be good for like fall time with all the orange and all that on it. But this just really has like a Raiders feel to me, which I like just because I associate Air Trainers with Bo Jackson. While I'm on the topic of those Coriander ones, I did a review of those, and I also showed some of my other Air Trainers in my collection. So if you're interested in that, maybe I'll throw it down in the comments or something. Make sure to check it out. But to the shoe at hand, we've got this pretty plain looking tread pattern. It definitely has that retro vibe. It kind of reminds you a little bit of like a basketball tread pattern, like Jordan 1s or Dunks, or even like Forums or something, with that kind of pivot point there in the front, and then the tread kind of, you know, coming off of that. But this shoe is a trainer, which is meant to just do anything. You know, that was Tinker Hatfield's intention whenever he designed these, was just to have a shoe that did it all, you know. But you've got this plain gray color and just a little bit of Nike branding there in black. Looks pretty cool. Then that gray wraps up and meets this, it's almost like an antique yellow looking color for the midsole, but that's just painted on, and it looks neat, looks nice. I think the color is a nice contrast to the rest of the shoe. But you've got that going around the midsole, along with that color of the outsole wrapping up. And then straight up from that, it seems like everything on these is pretty much synthetic, which I don't mind, but it almost feels like a synthetic nubuck or something, or like a synthetic suede, like a really short hair. And maybe it's what you would call Durabuck. I don't really know what the correct term for it is, but it looks good. It looks good. I love all these varying shades of gray, but that's what you have on the mudguard, and then a lot of these overlays going back. On the heel, we've got an overlay that is more of like a synthetic leather, and I like this kind of yellowish Nike Air, along with this little swoosh here on the back. And again, you're noticing all these reflective overlays, and that reflective really glows. It really lights up, especially when it's dark and you're inside and the fake light hits it. But for the base of these shoes, we have this nice, I would say it's almost black. It's a really dark gray canvas. You've got a lot of perforations on it, and you can see that on the toe box, and then mostly up here around the collar. I like these kind of ridges on the back that this stitching gives. I think that's a pretty cool look. And then one of my favorite things about these is this panel on the side. It's on the inside and the outside of both shoes, but it really changes colors, and it's really hard to capture on camera, but depending on how the light hits it, it really changes a lot of colors, and I think that's a pretty neat effect. It doesn't look cheesy. The tongue is kind of like a ripstop material. It's kind of like this material that you have here at the base of the tongue, and then it's got this canvas like overlay that has a little bit of Nike branding there at the top, and I think that's a nice touch. And then the sock liner is dark gray, and it looks like the back of the tongue is kind of like a mint green color, which is a nice little pop. But let me know what you think of these. I'm out.